Hello, 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 and today is not a combo guide, a tier list. Play this character or me trying to influence you in any way to go to this character. What we're doing today is a series of case studies on all characters in the game, and today we're covering base Vegeta. Now at a glance we look at base Vegeta. He is up close, there's so many options, he's a mirage. Up close, he literally has a move where he disappears off the screen. Moving around a lot, there's so much in his tool set. It feels like that this character has. Now, as always, we're going to talk about zones. We talk about up close, mid-range, and far. So first, we're going to start with up close, and we're going to start with the buttons, his supers, and his specials. So up close, he has a 5L, obviously made -2, 2L -4, so obviously he's safe. His 5L is -5, and his 2L, he can chain that. You can also chain his 5L like this, which is really, really good. So makes it very easy to confirm. Instead of doing the unsafer version, you can confirm this way, which is really helpful, especially you can do that both. Not many characters can do this with both, so he's one of the few that can. 5L is -5, so it's a good way to end from, even this is only -6, so it's not really punishable from far. So that's only -5. It's 5H, obviously being -8, but it's a good way to kind of end pressure for Vegeta, especially into his S. So let's take off Super Dash for a second. 5S up close is -3. From afar, it's up to -1. So it's really, really good to kind of mix up his strings there. 2H is a 13 frame 2H, so it's a really good 2H. The speed, obviously the angle's okay as well. His air buttons, obviously his JL, his typical Vegeta JL, but his JM it's also good. Not the best at crossing up, Vegeta, so it's something you have to be wary of if you are facing him. He's not the best at crossing you up. So he does have to kind of mix you up with his options there. Now his supers, obviously he has the Gallick Gun, and most important, his level 3. Rest in peace, Nappa. Now, Vegeta also has some unique specials. So Vegeta has a 214S, which is a command grab that only hits characters who are standing. So it's a stand grab that's primarily used in combos. You can, if you find a way to make your opponent stand and do it, I don't know, with a certain assist that lock you standing, cool. You would go for that, but I'm not too sure when you use it. 2v6S, the disc. One of his best tools. He can actually control it. If he holds up, it goes up. If you hold, obviously, neutral, goes there. If you hold down, it goes there. So it's a really good tool to kind of controlling the sky. It's a bit on the slow end, but if he's in the far range, it's really good at helping him there. He has 214L, which is a stomp, which as you can see is a overhead. 214M is overhead as well, and 214H. Now. He has 236L, typical Vegeta move buying -5, so a great way of ending pressure. And also you can obviously dash after, so great. You can set up some mix-up opportunities there. 236M goes straight through you, but this is primarily used in combos or hitting your opponent out of nowhere, kind of full screen. Still -9, so something you have to be wary of. But your opponent can punish you no matter where you are. It's going to be -9, so you got to be very, very wary of using that. And he has 236H, -5, but this move you have to cross up. So if you mix up between this and this, the opponent has got to look for quite a number of things. So those are most of Vegeta's moves. And as always, obviously IAD, but as always, we're not here to talk about his moves, his specials. Like, we're talking about game plan. So you first pick up base Vegeta. What are you looking for? And who helps him? So two things he's kind of looking for in a partner. If you look at his tools inside. So when Vegeta's inside, he's one of the most oppressive characters in the game. He has this move, the disc here, which allows him to dash after. So if you combine this disc with certain assist combinations, he can put up situations where your opponent really has to guess. So. Not just that, if he does LLL, he's one of the few characters that can maintain his dash momentum after. So if he goes here, that is still something he can do to his opponent. So this is really good to mix up your opponent with as well. So it is something to be very, very wary of. And not last but not least, 236L. Your opponent might be able to reflect these. So exactly, you are able to reflect. So unless you have the correct assists, your opponent is able to reflect here. So you could put it in a bait situation or overload point of options. It's up to your choice. Even discs as well. So depending on kind of the assists you have or what you have there, you can create unique situations that your opponent has to kind of react to block. Now that's one condition he has. He really wants to mix you up there, but another one is for Vegeta, is his keep away game. So he has a really, really strong, oppressive jump S arc, and if you use this jump S, you're able to 2-hate someone. So if you play this keep away game, maybe you can go get some big damage and push the opponent closer towards the corner, where base Vegeta gets most of his damage. So most of his damage he gets from here, from doing some sort of whatever his combos are in the corner. So he can do all sorts of combos in the corner that he can do here. Now if we go through the assists that I have currently, so we have obviously GT Goku. These are all chosen at random. So GT Goku, how would it help him? So tools inside, as I just showed, as in block strings, GT Goku is able to help him. So he's able to help him here at least do a block string, especially with the discs. Able to give him these options to really make your opponent think about what they're doing, right? Especially with the LLL as well. He's able to keep your opponents on their toes. So GT Goku, and keep away game as well. GT Goku, as you saw there, GT Goku's assist combined with this. Let's do it one more time. And then obviously you can confirm from there. So that's really helpful. Ginyu, we have Ginyu here. Again, we can still keep. He has a great 5S. So if we combine his 5S with Ginyu assist, obviously it's very, very good up close. Being plus, if you look at Ginyu's A assist, plus 33, so it's really helpful for him, and also in combos. So obviously base Vegeta really wants to get you to the corner, so Ginyu assist can help. If we go to their B assists, how does this help him? So obviously this is plus 32. So if we look at in the same way, you probably could even use GT's B assist as well, to kind of help you out there as well. See, it doesn't help them stay there, but it can help you end strings as well. See, because it's a bit faster. It's a bit faster than the A assist, so it's really helpful for Vegeta ending his strings and going for kind of that high-low option there from there. So you could use GT assist in this situation, especially there it's obscuring vision. So this is a really, really, really fast assist that you could really set up some. So you could use that as well. Ginyu, not much. It goes through obviously the whole Ginyu force. So aside from that, it's very kind of random. So I probably wouldn't choose that there. And C assist, obviously with GTs, you again easy to confirm, especially with Ginyu as well. So you can be able to do that. Now if we go to the other side, we have Kefla. Again, you could use Kefla's beam assist that could actually help him get inside. But so with base Vegeta, his problem isn't getting in. It's making his opponent bait in there. So we can use his opponent to bait there. So you can use Kefla's assist. With Gotenks assist, we can set up unique situations like this, where we're doing some type of high-low situation. So we can go with that as well. Now we've talked about all the game plans for base Vegeta. I've gone through some assists. Now fighting against him, what we're looking for. Now outside of him, his whole great keep away game, he has no real true strings and he has to take risks to restarting pressure. So yes, he's -5 here, but every time he ends, he has to take a risk whenever he's restarting his pressure. So every time he's here, outside of having his assists and doing all of this stuff here and all of this, he has to take a risk to do things. He has to make loads of little risks in these situations. So he has to go like to get like damage on the board. If your opponent's really on the board, they can punish you. Even here, and the damage he's getting for it is not a lot. So by himself, he's not getting that much damage for these options. If your opponent is really on the ball, they can punish you like so, or level 3 you. So be wary when you are using these tools, that you do have to take some type of risk when you're restarting your pressure. So in some way, shape or form, when you're doing all this S stuff, it's all nice, but he does have to take risks when he's by himself to kind of restart pressure. And number two, and one of the other things fighting against him is he has no threatening pressure full screen into assists, as he has no beam. So even though he's doing all of this stuff, let's just say with Gotenks, at first glance, this appears really strong because my opponent has to block. However, as he doesn't have really real pressure to kind of make you block, it is reflectable because there's nothing he can do outside of him throwing out 5S. So he has no way to kind of lock you down with assists. So you are able free to move, you are able free to reflect out of his pressure and kind of move around the screen. So even though he's controlling a lot of the screen, he can, regardless of him, whatever he does with assists, you are able to reflect. So a lot of players, they tend to block. You are able to reflect because it is a key, you can reflect key blasts. So let's just go back to character select screen. Now with base Vegeta, we talked about, if you can put the characters up here, and Ginyu. He's quite a versatile character up close, and obviously he has a great keep away game. Now with this character, with the assist that we did here at random, we saw that his tools inside are where he's really strong. He's got the disc, he's got L, 236L, and he can mix you up with obviously his cross up 236H and obviously 214H. So you can really keep your opponent guessing. And obviously with his keep away game, with the jump S and the 5S game, combined with the assists that help him, allow him to do this, are really helpful. So we saw with GT assist, GT allowed him to control that vertical plane that allowed, if his opponent super dash, he's able to kind of throw S at the opponent and confirm. And with Ginyu, we saw that assist allowed him, when tools inside, to really mix up the opponent. So he's really looking for assists that allow him to either do either or more. So those are kind of the game plan we're looking for there. So GT helped him there, Ginyu helped him there, Kefla assist helped him as well, as we saw, and Gotenks there. We saw with some of the B assists that it wasn't like with Ginyu B assist, it wasn't really helping him per se. Ginyu's B assist wasn't really helping him there. And we saw with a lot of C assists, he has great affinity with C assists. So something to really think about when you go through your teams is, am I helping with the tools, or am I helping with keep away game? Now fighting against base Vegeta, we talked about outside of with characters, he has no real true strings, and what he's really doing is taking risks to restarting pressure. So yes, he can do disc into vanish, but outside of that, he's taking risk restarting his pressure like most characters. But for him, obviously, with the 236H and 214H, there's not much damage leading from that. So solo, unless if you're blocking, crouching, or standing, whatever, there's not much risk you're taking. He has to take a risk every time he does these things. So it's something to think about. And there's no real threatening pressure from him full screen with assist or even by himself. So by himself, unless he's doing 236H or 214H or something, there's no real threatening pressure with assist into beam assist. So if he's doing an assist into Gotenks, as we saw there, you're always able to reflect. So it's something to think about when you're facing base Vegeta, that every time he is full screen, he's taking a risk. So closing gaps and super dashing or reflecting is really vital to facing this character. So yeah, I hope this helps somebody today or someone in the future. As always, leave a comment in the comment section. Like the video if you did like. If you didn't like it, cool, just leave a comment and say what we could improve or what we can do. But I want to foster a community where we really talk about these things. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.